All right, welcome back to page 2 and 3 of the Algebra 1 review. Hopefully these live reviews are better than just staring at answer sheets. And here we go. Let's jump right in. Just a little more solving work. So we got some distributive action here. That's going to give me a 35a minus 28. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move the 1 over right away here. And I'm going to put it onto this side, add 1 to both sides. So I've got the 15 there, and minus 8a. And now I can add 8a to both sides. I can move all the a's to the left. And I can add the 28 to both sides. That moves all the constants to the right. So what have I got here? Cancel, cancel. 35 and 8 is 43a. Over here, 15 plus 28, what a miracle. 30, 43. All right. So on that one, a equals 1. We'll just forego the last step there. Coming over to the right, we got a little distribution here and here. So let's go left to right. We got 8x plus 16x minus 12 equals 24x. And it's 4 times 4 here is 16. I'm running out of space on my right side here, so 16 minus 4 is going to give me 12. All right, so let's see. 8x plus 16x is 24x. And here's one of those cases where if you take 24 times what we say is some number, x, that should be equal. But if you add 12 to one side and subtract 12 from the other side, that's not going to work. So if you could stop right there and say there's no solution, or you could continue on and actually take away 24x from both sides. And what happens is you end up with negative 12 equals positive 12. And once again, that does not work. Nope, not true. So we say no solution. Or we use the no solution symbol. Either way. Okay, next set. Same kind of idea here. We've got 2 more coming at us. So let's distribute first. And we've got a minus 5. Actually, I'm going to add that 5 to both sides real quick. Oops, wrong color. And then I'm going to distribute. So I've got minus 31 plus 5, which is negative 26 minus 4x. And over here, so I got rid of that 5. Is going to be minus 5 times 1 is minus 5. And then if I distribute, minus 5 times 5 is going to be minus 25x. So let's see, what have I got? Probably best to add the 4x to both sides. And to add the 5 to both sides. See what I got here. Minus 25 plus 4 would give me minus 21x. And then minus 26 plus 5 would give me minus 21. Okay, that looks pretty good. So that means that x has to equal 1. 21, minus 21 times 1 is minus 21. All right. Next up, kind of the same idea here. Let's distribute first here. So I've got 4n minus 40 equals minus 14n plus 14. At that point, let's see. I'm going to add 14n to both sides. Not everybody would do that, but that way I at least get all positive n's. I'm not creating negatives. So that gives me 18n. And if I add the 40 to both sides, 40 plus 14 is 54. Use a calculator, don't use a calculator. Either way, you divide by 18, and you get n equals 3. 20, 40, 60 would give me 60, but there's 2 less in each of the 18. So all good to go there. Okay, sorry about that. A little minor technical error, but we're back. Let's go with the left side here and just give me a 3 minus a 9x and give me a minus 8x and give me a 14 So you can do this without arrows, but you know, some people are still writing the arrows just because that's the way they were trained. That's okay. If I add 9x to both sides, on the left, or excuse me, on the right, that gives me x. And I take away 14 from both sides, and I get minus 11. And that one's a quick one. Oops. All right, got to turn the phone off. Okay, right side, this last one, this is going to be a doozy, so I'm going to pause in the action, take a deep breath, and start distributing first. So the key here is distribution first, then combine like terms, get it down to where it's kind of a math 8 equation, then it's something you've already solved. So let's go right at this thing and say minus 3x plus 3 plus 8x minus 24. And over here I've got 6x minus 5x. I'm going to combine those terms right there. 6x minus 5x is x. Okay. And then over here I'm going to combine these terms. 8x minus 3x is also 5x. And I can combine the 3 and the negative 24 to get minus 21. Okay, so now it looks like something's a little bit easier for us to digest. Let us digest this problem. So add 21 to both sides. Cancel on the left, 28 on the right. Take away x from both sides. Hopefully something that divides evenly into 28. And we got 4x. Okay. 4 times 7 is 28. Done. Bingo. All right, so solving, that kind of wraps up the solving piece. We move on to inequalities, and inequalities are exactly the same as solving, except there's one rule, that whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, that is a negative number. When you do that, you flip the sign. So just, you know, if that happens, there's a way to do it without flipping it. You can manipulate the equation, but really just remember that if you ever multiply or divide, that's key. You actually reverse the inequality sign. We could have an hour discussion on why that's happening, but not today. So for today, we're going to get back to the solving piece. Yeah, it's just with inequalities, so the solving shouldn't be too difficult for us. Oops. Erase a little more there. Okay. So treat it like an equation for the most part. You've got really minus 1 is less than or equal to. You can simplify that a little bit and say 2n. 4 minus 5 is minus 1. So add 1 to both sides. You get 2n is greater than or equal to 0. That means that n is greater than or equal to 0. Notice I'm saying that right to left. That's okay. But generally speaking, that means that greater than or equal to 0 looks like that. There's my shading. And if you missed that last step there, 2 times some number is greater than or equal to 0. That's because if you divide by 2, and it's greater than or equal to 0. Okay, moving on. These solvings aren't as bad. So we got here 3 minus, I got to distribute 2n plus 8 is greater than negative 1. Okay, let's subtract 8 from both sides. And let's take away the 3 from both sides. That ought to get us pretty close. Cancel, cancel. Minus 2n is greater than negative 1, negative 9, negative what, 12? Is that right? 12, negative. Okay, here's that case where I'm going to divide by negative 2. And I'm going to flip the inequality sign. And that means that I've got n is less than 6. That means on a graph, there's my 6 less than, and if you spotted my error, I forgot it earlier, but on the last problem, greater than or equal to, close circle. Almost forgot to fill in that circle. This video is getting long, so I'm going to wrap this one up here. Same exact stuff, just a little more solving action. So a minus 15, oops, greater than 24 minus 12a. So I'm doing the distribution a little bit more in my head mentally now as we get a little faster at this. And let's see, what have I got? I'm going to add 12a to both sides. That gets me 13a. I'm going to take away 15 from both sides. 24 minus 15, what do I actually get there? Add 15 to both sides. Oops, I said add, that's why. I was just checking my work there and it didn't make sense. And all of a sudden that becomes 39. And that a becomes greater than 3, because 13 goes into 39 3 times. So there's your 3, greater than, and don't shade it because it doesn't need to be shaded. Okay, this one looks interesting. Lots of 6's, so let's just multiply it all out. Minus 6 minus 36x less than 6 minus 30x. Pause in the action for a moment. And let's see what we got. What's the easiest way to go about this? Taking away the 6, no, that's not going to do it much good. Let's do this. Let's move the 36x to the right. Reason why, I've added 36x, canceled it on the left, and if I do that, that actually gives me a positive 6x over on this side. And then I want to take away 6 from both sides as well to get this 6 on the right over to the left. Minus 6 is minus 12. And that's a less than. So then I just divide by 6. So I've got x is less than minus 2. And there's minus 2, less than. Don't shade it in, there's no equal sign. All right. So we're going to stop right there and say hasta la vista. Have a great weekend if you're looking at this on Thursday or Friday. If not, have a great spring break. Be nice if my writing was a little neater, but you try writing on an iPad. It ain't that easy. Have a great break.